a parade. The tramping of feet. I love every beat I hear of a drum. I love a parade. When I hear a band, I just want to stand and cheer as they come. That rat-a-tat-tat, the blare of a horn, that rat-a-tat-tat, a bright uniform. The sight of a drill will give me a thrill. I thrill at the skill of everything military. I love a parade. A handful of vets, a line of cadets, or any brigade. Or I love a parade. To all of you at home, this is the 2014 Rose Parade Grand Marshal, Vin Scully, wishing you and yours a very happy New Year.
I love a parade. I really love a parade when Vin Scully is the Grand Marshal.
That was a gift.
I am
really
just going to apologize to America for fanboying over the greatest to ever grace a broadcast booth. Our Grand Marshal today, Vincent Scully. Oh, you're the best.
Love you. Well, can he?
I feel like I should apologize for following him.
No,
you don't follow
he's
him.
the best.
You know what does? You know what's following him though down Orange Grove on to Colorado today? This entry from Indonesia, the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy there of the Republic. It's a third year for them in this parade, and what a glimpse of the exotic, of a paradise of tropical flowers, Komodo dragons, as you see there at temples. We want to show you the island in front. That, of course, is Borneo, and the jellies and the native sea creatures. The jellyfish, in fact, decorated with gladiola and lunaria petals. And we also want to tell you that this is an award winner as well. Winner of the Director's Award for Outstanding Merit in Design and Floral Presentation. And you can see why. Again, for those of you new to the parade, every inch of every one of these floats must be decorated with some sort of organic material. And the meticulous, the hours and hours spent adorning the floats with what you see here. And just to wondrous effect. Time and time again. Terrifying effect as well. Those Komodo dragons, Brunia balls, pinto beans, peanut shells, and acorn tops. Those are some new ingredients for us.
Right.
Anna.
40 million blossoms from every continent except Antarctica. And seeds and nuts and cocoa powder and cinnamon spices.
These close-ups, I hope you can appreciate not just the level of technical skill and just the attention to detail. You also have to understand, these are gigantic, these floats. Huge. And tens of feet high. Some of these running 50, 60 feet long, or in the course of one today, 274 feet. And all just so beautiful.
They actually identify the themes very quickly. After this parade, the themes for 2015 will be identified. So they'll start on the floats for next year in a couple of weeks and start building with chicken wire, the base of the float, the design, and then they literally have thousands of people who take vacations and come here every year and have been for decades, sometimes generation after generation, to bring you sweet faces like that monkey.
And you can see the onion seed there that made up his face. A lot of the eyes that we see, and the very expressive eyes on a lot of the animals that we'll see, the black of the eye often...
That's nori seaweed, right?
Seaweed,
and
yeah.
You know what they do with that, Josh? I found out, because we learn more every year hanging out at the float barns. But they want to make that look shiny, so they put a layer of glue underneath the seaweed. Then they put the seaweed on it, and then so the seaweed doesn't dry and crumble, they put a layer of glue actually on top of it. And then when it dries, it retains that shiny seaweed quality.
And we are talking about thousands of volunteers who are doing this. And boy, we always get a chance to stop and talk to them. They take their vacation. They spend a week in a barn, you know, often in Arctic temps. And we so want to thank so many of you spending some of your time with us today. We do know how cold it is outside for so many of you across this great land. So many of you coming here to Pasadena and then spending all your time making these floats look as beautiful as they do. And so thank you to all of you as well. It is a festive day, to be sure, spent with any number of parade, and this the Rosemount High School Marching Band, hailing from a southeastern suburb of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis-St. Paul, joining us a first time in the parade. And you might wonder, as fall became winter, how could they have practiced over and over again to be here today, practicing in a dome stadium? Thankfully, they're marching on the AstroTurf since October. Let's give a listen, shall we? That a town such as Rosemount, how can that high school band get here? They have to raise funds, and along with the Tournament of Roses president, who travels the globe helping to raise funds, you know who actually helps so many of these smaller bands get here? These fellas,
right here.
Guys and gals of the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, you're going to whistle a little Sweet Georgia Brown
do that to America
you
either.
kind of can't help yourself, right? Wasn't it one of the first songs you knew as a child?
Was
Sweet Georgia Brown, and we all have memories of the first time that, wow, we had the privilege that our parents took us to see the Harlem Globetrotters. If only we were so lucky. And Josh, I've had the chance to spend some time with this current version of the Globetrotters. Bucket Blake, Stretch Middleton, Flight Time Lang, Slick Willie Shaw, Wound the Shot Bersher, and they are as great of an ambassadors for the game of basketball that you could ever hope for, performing really all over the world. And some of the places they go, they break cultural barriers. They have thrilled and entertained countless generations, and they celebrate their 88th consecutive year. Love having the Globetrotters as part of the Rose Parade.
To your point, for a good portion of the 20th century, it was the only team an African-American player could in fact join and participate in. Very, very fitting then that they are here in Pasadena, home as well too. The great Pasadena City College baseball track star Jackie Robinson, again breaking barriers, and thankfully so. There really is only one way to look at times at what happens here in Pasadena, the 5.5-mile long stretch of Orange Grove in Colorado. Aerial coverage then, thankfully, provided by Goodyear, the tires chosen by experts for superior performance in challenging conditions. Goodyear, more driven. Challenging conditions, we are going to, we will admit,
we do not have
we do not face today.
No.
No, we do not. Southern California, she is showing off today.
What a pleasure.
And thankfully so for the folks really from places like this, the Shriners Hospitals for Children. Their float theme today, Love to the Rescue. And it is such a sweet float, decorated by such great people. Some of our very, very favorites to visit with each and every year, the Shriners. It's not just the cape and the fez that you do know. Look at that teddy bear. Soft and cuddly to be sure, but you might want to watch out. Don't hug them too close, because the paws, in fact, adorned with artichokes, but they're pricklier than they look. It's not the artichoke, perhaps, that might be passed at a cocktail party. It's that prickly pear on the outside. And we do want to give you a look at the front of this float, this heart.
This is so sweet. I love this.
You might think to yourself, boy, that looks absolutely adorable, and yet somehow childlike. And there's a reason. The images on that heart created by different children who, in fact, are patients at the 22 nonprofit hospitals all across north America. The Shriners, an organization that began way back in 1870, opened their first children's hospital in 1922, having treated countless thousands of those who need them most. And really a beautiful float befitting such a beautiful organization.
Yeah, really worth remembering all of the great work that the Shriners do, and nice to see them here, a front and center at the start of the new year. Love to the rescue. I love the name.
Love it.
So precious.
Also love, as a Southern California native, the history that is this parade. Take a look back what it was like in 1890. It wasn't a football game, it was a chariot race they were running. This, though, is us today. A time-lapse look at what it takes to get us on the air in this, the 125th Tournament of Roses Parade.
Nothing against